Lu Fan stood quietly for a while, staring at his dragon egg. All its normal mechanisms came from the same mechanism. No past, no parents. But the blade-armored dragon was different. Its mother had saved it from Mary. It hadn't hatched yet Lu Fan felt something scream inside it. As if it was calling for its mother's scent, its home. Lu Fan took a deep breath. "We shouldn't rush," he muttered. He was enjoying admiring the state archives and seeing the condition of all the dragons. The next moment, his face crumpled. How is this possible? His bones thinned. The newborn blade-armored dragon was only at the first level, yet every attribute had given it 3,000 points. Yes, how is this possible? Lu Fan's gaze remained fixed on the little dragon. Now everything was clear. The crystal core left by the blood-armored Dragon King wasn't just to save his life. It was a blessing. That crystal had shaped this little creature into something extraordinary from the moment of its birth. A sacred being endowed with high virtues and divine aura. A wave of deep peace and respect arose in Lu Fan's heart. He said softly, as if to himself, "So, this armor-binding skill." He paused, lost in thought. This skill was similar to that of the Divine Bone Dragon King, a technique that erased the boundaries between creature and armor. This dragon could transform itself into equipment at will, and bestow all its qualities and skills upon its master. A faint smile returned to Lu Fan's lips. By combining the divine bone material and the blade armor chest piece, he had accomplished the same feat as the blood-armored Dragon King. The status window floating before him slowly faded, then vanished in an instant. His voice, echoing in the void, was steady and confident. "I am now in the secret realm of the divine ruins." A blue glow shone in his eyes. "And now, I can completely control Ningxuan." In that moment, a new surge of power flowed from within Lu Fan, as if he had gained control over not just an ally, but an entire realm. It was very hot, so Lu Fan immediately set up his tent there and rested for the night. When Lu Fan woke up in the morning, he saw the dragon and smiled. After waiting all night, this python has now become normal and has finally decided to stay with us. Meanwhile, all of Lu Fan's dragons began to awaken from their slumber one by one. A pale blue light spread within the cave, as if the divine energy emanating from their bodies was illuminating the atmosphere itself. Lu Fan slowly approached the young dragon and sat down next to it. The dragon's eyes shone, as if it contained echoes of both heaven and earth. Lu Fan said calmly, "Actually, I knew it was different when it was born. It's different. Very powerful and terrifying." He stroked its head. There was a sense of familiarity in the touch, but also the strength of a warrior within. "Your mobility is truly amazing." Then he smiled and said, "Why don't you adopt the bloody armor bond? If you do, I'll equip you, and myself, so we can become one." The dragon's eyes shone, and the next moment, its body resonated. A strange dark red aura began to spread around it, accompanied by a faint metallic clang. The energy slowly moved towards Lu Fan, enveloping him. A deep divine voice echoed through the air. "Blood armor bond." Lu Fan's body was enveloped in the aura. In an instant, the armored dragon began to transform. Its scales melted into glowing red blades, which embedded themselves in Lu Fan's chest. The blood armor instantly clung to Lu Fan's chest, making him overjoyed. All of Lu Fan's attributes and skills were absorbed into the blood armor. Lu Fan's victory skills were blood armor, and sickle. Lu Fan seemed very happy to receive this armor, because it had inherited all of Lu Fan's qualities, as well as all the qualities and skills of the blood armor dragon. Lu Fan seemed very happy. Lu Fan took out his sharp wings. He wanted to test their power. Then he jumped into the air and said, "Since you have accepted my blood, let me test its power once." Lu Fan flew into the air, and then he felt something strange and stopped. He charged forward. Ripping through the air, a second scythe immediately followed, and then a third, all in quick succession. Red hook-like blades flashing through the air, hurtling toward their target. In an instant, they pierced a distant rock and pulled their target toward Lu Fan, shattering it into pieces with an explosion. Amidst the metallic sound that echoed through the air, Lu Fan looked at his palm. A sly smile appeared on his face. "This is truly a masterful attack," he said softly, his voice filled with both admiration and excitement. His other dragons standing nearby shuddered at the sight. A slight fear flashed in their eyes, as if they understood that their master had now reached another level. But Lu Fan wasn't satisfied yet. A glint of curiosity flashed in his eyes. He turned and looked toward the distant mountains. "Let's see how far this limit goes." He refocused his energy. In an instant, the blood armor scythe resurfaced, and as it struck the mountains, the earth shook. The mountains shattered with a roar, rocks flying into the air like dust. In a matter of seconds, what was once a towering mountain was reduced to a mere pile of stones and smoke. Lu Fan realized that it possessed attack defense, crowd control, and damage reflection capabilities. All of these powers were amazing. It was truly amazing. Lu Fan then thought about testing that ultimate skill. And he did. He soared high into the air and activated the divine aura light blood armor. Lu Fan felt as if divinity was flowing through his body. The power flowing through his veins was now many times greater than before. It wasn't just power, it was holy energy. Now even his normal attacks had become as sacred as Chin Chin's. A wave of pure light resonated with each strike. He clenched his fist. The air around him began to vibrate. At the same time, he felt a new ability awaken within him. He could continuously heal himself in any situation, even in the middle of battle. This completely eliminated the blood armor dragon's greatest weakness, the limitation to healing outside of battle. Lu Fan smiled to himself and ordered, "Switch to dark blood armor." In an instant, a purple aura spread around him. The aura gradually thickened and then transformed into divine energy, enveloping his body. The armor took on a new form, dark blood armor, an armor that simultaneously embodied the energy of both shadow and divine power. Lu Fan looked at its stats and was deeply impressed. This armor continuously generated shadow energy, and thanks to the properties acquired from the Divine Bone Dragon King, even ordinary attacks now provided a massive damage bonus. After examining everything, Lu Fan took a deep breath and returned to his normal form. His gaze fell upon his blood-armored dragon again. "Let the blood dragon level up further," he thought. "Then I'll use it to its full potential." Now, a strange peace filled him. The preparations for the secret area of the divine ruins were complete. Lu Fan looked back at his team, all his dragons and followers. His voice was firm and calm. "Everyone, get ready. We're opening the area. It's time to return home." Hearing his words, all his animals' eyes lit up with joy. They smiled gently, as if they had finally received the promise of rest after a long battle. A short while later, Lu Fan activated the portal. A vortex of blue energy opened, and he bowed one last time to all the officials in the Tianfu area and said goodbye. Then, with his companions, he passed through the glowing portal land in the blink of an eye. They all returned to Jianghai City. Back home, Yang Ying and everyone else are surprised to see Lu Fan. Aunt Han comes forward and says, "Hey, Lu Fan, you're back," and immediately hugs him. Lu Fan knew Aunt Han must be missing him a lot. That's why she's so emotional. And then Aunt Han smiled and said, "I went grocery shopping, so why don't you invite Xiao and me over for dinner?" Jian Zheng agreed, saying, "Today is Tao Jiaoji's free lunch day. She's definitely coming. So, Sister Han should just forget who she is Everyone else is coming. Lu Fan listened with a smile and argued, "Wow, I have a few things to tell everyone too." Then everyone left. It was night. Lu Fan and all his companions were enjoying dinner. And then Jia Oman asked Lu Fan, "Why do you need to go? Why do you want to trouble yourself?" Aunt Han agreed. "Lu Fan, accidents are very easy to happen. You shouldn't go." And then NT Han said, "Lu Fan, can I use the teleportation scroll Miss Ye gave me?" Hearing this, everyone looked at Aunt Ye in surprise, wondering why she said that. There are other ways. Kim Koo said, "Hey, you can take a plane or ride a God's bone clone. The one that's been put into the corpse." He also told Kim Koo that it would take at least a month or two to reach the western border. But Lu Fan smiled and said, "I can't summon the fallen corpse golem right now, but don't worry, because all the fallen corpse puppets have been swallowed by the fallen corpse sacred dragon. And finally, the high-quality code bond has transformed into the Dragon King. I've acquired a new blade ninja, bringing me to the 1 million mark, so I don't have to worry about any accidents." Hearing Lu Fan's words, Xiao Oman was shocked. "Is that really it? 100 million. You've acquired the attributes." Lu Fei replied, "Yes, of course. I originally planned to cultivate the dungeon to raise the level of my blade armor dragon. However, the opening of the Shenju secret realm is still more than a year away." Everyone was shocked to hear Lu Fan's words. Even Ya Ning looked at him in surprise. Aunt Han, who had always been worried about Lu Fan, looked at him and said, "Lu Fan, this means you'll be leaving again soon." Lu Fan smiled and said firmly, "Sure. We're leaving tomorrow morning." Lu Fan said goodbye to his aunt and everyone else the next morning. And he set off on his journey westward, exploring the 14 regions alone. During his journey, he killed many bosses and rare elites. This included other types of monsters and beasts as well. Even a nightmare-level lucky dungeon, where Lu Fan killed all the beasts and moved on, and got rid of many predators greedy for these materials. And in all these battles, Lu Fan raised the levels of all his beasts. The small blood armor dragon also reached level 57, and almost all the dragon's levels increased rapidly. After this, Lu Fan reached the western border about a month later. After wandering for a long time, Lu Fan finally saw the edge of the western border. Lu Fan realized that the time for the San Issue secret area to open was very near. At that very moment, he decided it was time to turn back. But just then, a beast that had been waiting for Lu Fan appeared and stared at him. But then Lu Fan noticed it. He muttered to himself, "This is the Golden Wing Stone. It's a ferocious beast found in Western lands. This border lens is as tall as the mountain and has a level of 94. Lu Fan immediately gets into a fighting stance. Lu Fan knew its components would also be incredibly rare. Lu Fan immediately springs into action and charges forward to attack. Lu Fan immediately throws his sickle, tied to a chain, at it. Lu Fan wanted to kill it, pick it up, and give it to his superior as a gift. But then Lu Fan's sickle landed directly in the large bird's claws. The large bird flew rapidly into the air. Because of the chain, Lu Fan had to fly with it. But Lu Fan snatched his sickle from its claws. He took a step back to attack, and then launched his next attack. Lu Fan swung both sickles once again, aiming directly at its throat, creating a noose around the large bird's neck. Lu Fan didn't want to kill it. And then he ordered, "If you don't want to die, do your job properly." Lu Fan used his 2 chains to tie it up, and then the bird flew faster. Its speed had increased significantly. Lu Fan was feeling better now and muttered, "Hey, it's working fine. And it's very fast. If I fly at this speed, I'll definitely make it in time." But then a voice came from behind, confusing the large bird. and the bird suddenly moved. Lu Fan realized that someone was casting a net over the bird, and then a voice came from behind. Cast the net over it and catch it. Lu Fan was still standing behind, but by then, some people had cast a large net over the bird, completely trapping it. Here, the man who wanted to catch the bird smiled and looked at him, and said, "Hold the net firmly. The prey is trapped in the net. Use all your strength and don't let it escape." But then, Lu Fan made a decision, transformed his hand into a dragon's claw, and shattered the net with a single blow. And the huge animal immediately fell to the ground. All the hunters rushed towards the large animal, but then Lu Fan launched a powerful attack on the ground. Dust flew everywhere, and all the hunters fell a few feet away. And then, regaining his composure, he looked at Lu Fan and said, "Who is it? Who is doing this?" Lu Fan stood in front of them, staring angrily. Everyone was terrified when they saw Lu Fan, and on the other hand, they wanted to kill him. They thought he was the one who killed the big bird. But as soon as they saw Lu Fan, they said, "Judging by his attire, it seems he was searching for many things alone." They mistook Lu Fan for an explorer and advanced to attack him. Their leader said, "He's from a prestigious family, isn't he? Kill him immediately." Everyone moved toward Lu Fan. But Lu Fan glared at them, saying, "Perhaps you're too little familiar with the news from the Western Mountains, and you don't know the news there. Because you're from a prestigious family, you don't recognize your leader." Lu Fan immediately attacked and punched him hard in the face. This chapter ends here. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to see the next chapter. See you in the next one. Those on the western border who had mistakenly attacked Lu Fan were now being defeated by him one by one. Lu Fan launched a powerful attack, causing the mountain to crack and the ground to shift. Everyone was frightened by Lu Fan's attack, and they began to fear him. But then Lu Fan leaped into the air again. She attacked with her sharp sickle with a long chain. In a single blow, she cut the entire mountain in two, and leveled the entire land. Seeing this, everyone was terrified and began begging for their lives. Lu Fan fell to the ground. As she approached, everyone became even more terrified, and they began begging for mercy, saying, "No, no, don't come near me." But then Lu Fan heard a voice from behind. Lu Fan hadn't heard this voice before, but just then, Lu Fan looked back. Elder sister was coming towards her at a fast pace, and she couldn't control her speed. Lu Fan turned and wondered what elder sister was doing there. And she too couldn't control her speed. Seeing this, Lu Fan immediately rushed forward and shouted, "Catch me!" Lu Fan immediately took her into his arms and asked in surprise, "Hey, big sister, what are you doing here?" The elder sister looked at Lu Fan lovingly and asked, "I haven't seen you in a month. How come you've been so naughty? You don't even miss me. Do you really? You didn't come all this way to get me." The elder sister tries to get Lu Fan's attention, but Lu Fan isn't interested in these things at all. He passes up the chance to kiss Lu Fan. Yes, yes, yes. Both Lu Fan and the elder sister's cheeks turn red. But then, Lu Fan lets her down from his embrace. The elder sister wipes her hands and says, "I've been counting the days, knowing you'd be back soon, and I've been coming to the border every day to see you. I heard a commotion. That's why I came here." Lu Fan pointed to the dead bird, which had died just moments ago, and said, "Elder sister, this bird lying dead in front of you, I caught it for you, and I wanted to give it to you as a gift, but these people caught it, and they shot it and tried to kill me too. These people suddenly attacked, and your gift was ruined." As soon as the elder sister heard Lu Fan's words, a murderous smile appeared on her face, and she looked at those thieves, and with a murderous smile she said, "So, that's it." The elder sister immediately fired her weapon. A red aura appeared around her, and she roared, "Which one of you dares to attack Lu Fan?" The people standing nearby trembled violently. Seeing the elder sister's anger, they also began to tremble. One of them said, "Hey, this is Ji-Buk Sien from this family." And another person standing nearby also said, "Hey, this is the same terrifying dragon tamer who wiped out the Long family. Now he won't spare us." And then both men immediately bowed their heads and began to apologize. They said, "We're from the Jia family. One is from a D-rank noble family, and if you spare us, the Jia family will reward you handsomely, and we'll come to apologize ourselves." But the elder sister wasn't satisfied. Firing her arrow, she said, "I don't care what family you belong to. If you raise your hand, you'll lose your life. And now I won't let you go." But then Lu Fan appeared from behind, grabbed the elder sister's hand, and said, "Elder sister, wait." Seeing this, the elder sister looked at Lu Fan in surprise and said, "Hey brother, why are you stopping me?" Lu Fan replied calmly, "You shouldn't get upset over small things. And anyway, their leader has already been killed. The rest are just these people. They just need a lesson." But then Lu Fan activated a power no one knew existed. It was called Retreat of the Weak. The main characteristic of this power is that it releases the dragon's killing intent, causing actual damage and pushing targets back within a certain range. The actual damage is determined by the specific distance between the shield holder and the target. The greater the distance, the greater the damage. A pressure is created, causing everyone to retreat. They scream frantically, and within a few minutes they all disappear. Lu Fan looked at them. "And where? I've killed your people, and I know your people will be unhappy with me, but that's okay. You can come to avenge me whenever you want." Lu Fan then smiled and looked at senior sister. "Where else? Elder sister, you should be satisfied now." The elder sister said in surprise, "Hey Lu Fan, you've done everything. What are you asking now?" Lu Fan immediately took the elder sister in her arms. Seeing this, the elder sister was embarrassed and couldn't say anything. Lu Fan immediately jumped into the air and said, "Now you don't even have time to be dissatisfied." But the elder sister, she said, "Lu Fan, let me down. You haven't bathed in days. Your body smells of sweat." Lu Fan said again, "Don't fight or you'll fall. And if you do, I'm not responsible." Lu Fan and her older sister arrive at the Ye family's residence in the western regions. Evening was approaching. The older sister eagerly said to Lu Fan, "Hey Lu Fan, hurry up and call the blade-armored Dragon King's baby so I can see him. That little newborn dragon will be so cute. I want to hug him, and I can't wait." Lu Fan looked at her older sister with a smile and said, "Hey, I advise you to give up this dangerous idea." The older sister was shocked to hear this and asked, "Do you think hugging him will cause me any harm?" Lu Fan immediately raised her finger, and a galaxy-like object appeared on her finger. And within seconds, the little dragon appeared before her. The older sister was extremely surprised to see him, and she said, "This is the blade-armored Dragon King's son." Lu Fan looked at the elder sister and said, "Don't be fooled by its size. Its defense power is amazing, and I'm sure even Goji could easily penetrate its armor." The elder sister looked at the dragon carefully. It looked very cute. And she said nervously, "Are you sure you can really control it? Really, this dragon? It's looking at me as if I snatched something from it." Lu Fan tried to shake hands with the dragon and extended his hand. The dragon also extended its hand back and looked at the elder sister and said, "Look carefully how it shook hands with me." And then Lu Fan ordered it to lie down. The dragon immediately sat up on its paws. And then Lu Fan said, "Don't worry about it looking a little scary, but it's okay, or it's absolutely great." The elder sister, who had been watching the dragon, looked mischievously at it. It picked up a piece of apple and tried to bite it with its sharp claws. But as soon as she brought the apple to it, it neatly cut into 2 pieces. The elder sister was very impressed. Hey, this dragon is very useful for the elders, and for household chores too. Lu Fan laughed at her words, and then started feeding the dragon like a little child. Lu Fan asked, "So, elder sister, did the Link family try to cause any trouble while I was away last month?" The elder sister became serious and said, "They're always busy buying supplies for the secret realm. But maybe the divine ruins are preparing for the secret realm." Lu Fan looked at her and said, "Don't worry, I'm very strong now, and they can't do anything now." But then a loud noise came. Lu Fan panicked and immediately grabbed his elder sister. Just then, an official came from outside and said, "Miss Young, Master Lu Fan, a volcano has suddenly erupted on the western border." Lu Fan and his elder sister were both shocked to hear this. The elder sister said, "Oh, that direction is the Ning family's territory." Lu Fan also said, "Come on, elder sister, let's see if this commotion could be caused by Ning Xuan. He's the one who could launch such an attack." This chapter ends here. To see the next chapter, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to be the first to see the upcoming chapter. As soon as Lu Fan and his elder sister heard the official's words, they immediately rushed out of the palace to see where the volcano had erupted. On the border of the western region, a huge volcanic cavern could be seen, erupting ferociously. And a large bird was also seen glowing. Meanwhile, Lu Fan and his elder sister both flew in the air, watching this scene. They both imagined how terrible the pressure must be. Even the air here was burning and extremely hot. Lu Fan looked at them and thought. He explained, "Okay, but this aura was at least 10 times stronger than last time." Lu Fan held his elder sister tightly, his attention focused on Lu Fan. Then, his elder sister also looked at the erupting lava and said, "Lu Fan, I think the Ning family is really planning to cause some major trouble this time." Lu Fan replied, "Yes, that's absolutely possible, and they've progressed so quickly. This C-rank elite family certainly has a lot of skill." Lu Fan and his elder sister went downstairs, discussing all this. Then his elder sister explained that he was taking a very difficult test, and he's clearly determined to kill you inside the Divine Ruin secret area. The elder sister asked Lu Fan, "Can't you summon your dragon pet?" Lu Fan listened carefully and then replied, "So you're disappointed that I can't summon my pet, even though it's stronger than before. And now, it's still not enough for me." After listening to Lu Fan's words, the elder sister turned to Lu Fan and said, "You shouldn't underestimate them at all. Ning Shuang's fiancé is from the Luo family, a C-rank noble family. His new name is Luo Chikixia, and he's truly an extraordinary person. His strength is absolutely extraordinary, and I've heard it's even more powerful than Ning Shuang's. And his class is secret work, Eight-Eyed Demon. He has the power of milk, a powerful anti-class type." After saying this, the elder sister looked at Lu Fan and said, "The Ning family holds a grudge against you, so I'm afraid they'll all kill you together." Lu Fan glanced at the elder sister and thought for a moment. Then the elder sister said, "Are they trying to target you, along with the Luo family in the secret area? And the other noble families are afraid of the Ning family." And in a very worried tone, the elder sister said again, "Maybe they are. They'll surround you and kill you." Hearing this, Lu Fan began flirting with the elder sister and quickly pulled her closer and said, "Hey, are you really that worried about me? So you're so worried about me." The elder sister sighed and said, "Hey, what are you saying? Go away. I was saying this because you're the one making all the decisions in my family now. And yes, I don't want you to die at their hands." Lu Fan took another deep breath and said in a heavy voice, "Don't worry. I'm confident I can deal with them. You don't need to worry. Not only the Ning family, but anyone who enters the secret area of the Divine Ruins group will be defeated by me. I won't spare anyone." The elder sister looked at Lu Fan and asked, "Lu Fan, don't take this lightly. Even if the Blood Armor Dragon and the Divine Bone King can enter this realm, you definitely can't underestimate the combined power of a C-rank family. This power really can't be underestimated. Lu Fan smiled at the elder sister and said, "Elder sister, what do you think? Ning Shuang's values, where will they reach? When he uses his transformation skill, the total attributes have already exceeded 1,000. Ning Shuang was raised with the resources of a C-rank noble family. With the transformation class attributes, his peak attributes could be 10 times higher than yours. But over 100,000, that's still too much." The sister was confused, and then I asked, "Hey, what do you mean?" Lu Fan immediately raised his dragon hand and said, "Take a look at my current power." Lu Fan immediately clenched his fist and activated his power, generating an aura and air pressure around him. Then, Lu Fan looked at his elder sister and said, "Elder sister, this fist of mine that you see has been strengthened by the blessings of the Divine Bone Dragon King and the Blade Armor Dragon King corpse, as well as the blessings of the Divine Bone Dragon King and the Blade Armor Dragon King corpse. Its attributes are over 1 million. It only grew a month ago, and its growth rate is amazing." Hearing this, the elder sister was shocked. She asked, "Is this really 10 million attribute points?" After this, Lu Fan flew into the air. As he flew, he said, "Yes, you heard right. Rest assured, even in the secret realms of divine cold, I won't be afraid of a joint siege." After the elder sister heard Lu Fan's words, she thought to herself, "It's not that I don't trust you. I just pray that you're a C rank. You grew up in a family, yet people won't provoke you." The next morning, the scene shifts to the Ning family's home. A man sits in front of him. He says, "For this journey to the secret realm of the divine ruins, the Ning family and the Long family must fully cooperate and care for each other. We cannot give any other family the opportunity to obtain this soul-soothing liquid." The man sitting in front of him replies, "Don't worry, Suanagar is my fiancé. The Ning and Long families are one and the same. I won't let anyone compromise our interests." Just then, a voice from outside catches their attention. "Dad, I'm back." Just then, a girl enters the room. This girl has now reached level 100. And she says, "Dad, this time I'll definitely destroy the dragon tamer." Hearing this, Dad stood up excitedly and said, "Excellent. Well done. To surpass level 110 at the age of 18 and approach the power of the 5th job is truly a great fortune. And no one in the entire C-rank elite can match this. And I believe that if you have enough time, you will be able to elevate the Ning family to a B-rank elite." Hearing this, the man standing in front of them stood up and turned to the girl. "Shuang, with your current strength, you will definitely achieve the top spot in the secret realm of the divine ruins." Hearing this, the girl looked at him angrily and said, "Nonsense! What are you saying? Right now, I just want to know if everything is going according to plan. What happened? Is the dragon tamer ready to go to the divine ruins?" Hearing this, the man standing in front of her covered his mouth and said, "Rest assured, according to the family's intelligence network, we have confirmed that the boy has returned with his family today. And apparently, he has returned to the secret area of the divine ruins." Hearing this, the girl gave a murderous smile and said, Okay. Now he's dared to come. I was afraid he'd back off, but now he's coming." But then the man explained, "Who is that kid? Who knows what method he used? But somehow, he also got a new pet in the Shukra nation." He said this and covered his mouth. The girl exclaimed in surprise, "Oh, what a new dragon! Lu Fan has got a new dragon." And then he explained that this dragon seems to be a special kind of pet that can transform. It also has equipment to wear. It must know the rules of the secret realm of divine Kandera. And it must have been specially designed for this realm. And then he says in a very low voice, even if he brings another dragon, he won't be able to summon other dragon pets. His power will be greatly diminished. And the united victory of the Ning and Luo families is still certain, and victory will be ours. The girl looks at him angrily, thinking to herself, does he really dare to challenge the secret realm of the ruins? Is he relying only on a dragon pet that can transform into equipment? Is it really that easy? And then the man starts playing with the girl's hair and says, don't worry, my dear. No matter what trump card that person has, he won't be able to harm us. This time, we are free. And our people and the Ning family will definitely kill him together. Instead of focusing on him, we should worry about the first-rate Murari family, Morang. How to compete with Murad Yer for spirit.tampering.liquid ? Hearing this, the man panics and says that he is the young master of the Murag family. Hearing this, the girl also says, a rank 1 noble family is also participating in the Divine Ruins secret realm. Friends, this chapter ends here. To watch the next chapter, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to be the first to see the upcoming chapter. See you in the next chapter. Until then, take care of yourself and your family. Ning stood up angrily and said, impossible! The second-tier noble family has never participated in the battle of the Shan Shakushu secret realm. Although the spirit subjugation liquid is very valuable, it's not worth their attention. Hearing Ning's words, he stood up and said, there are many things you don't know. 2 years ago, Murog Song had already reached level 119, and he's only halfway through his 5th reincarnation. The girl listened to him very attentively. And he explained this, but it's been 2 whole years. Western Frontier hasn't received any news about his 5th advancement. As for us Luo family, he's been preparing for the 5th rank for the past 2 years. After successfully reaching the 5th level, he decided to use the Spirit Tempering Dervish to improve his attributes. Morog Shading has participated in the secret realm. It can actually achieve the 5th stage of transformation in one fell swoop to obtain the Spirit Tempering liquid. And then he tells me about one of his rivals. I met this man briefly 2 years ago. At the time, he was fighting another second-tier noble in a secret area. A chance encounter led to a sudden battle. Moring Singh killed his opponent with just one maneuver. After that battle, I realized that even though we are of the same rank, the difference in strength is enormous. If he wants to compete for the divine heat liquid, our chances of winning are almost nil. The girl was listening to all this very attentively, but after a moment of thought she said, all these things could be false. They are not necessarily true. There are many restrictions on them. And that's it. This isn't a shape-shifting class. You'll know the outcome once you get there. At that very moment, he stands in front of the girl and says, Uncle Ning, don't be discouraged. Sengsue. Secretly, sometimes luck is more important than strength. And maybe, Shuang and me, they already got the spread tempering liquid from Morena Sheng. After hearing all this, he says, it doesn't matter. The spirit that heated the liquid is important, but your life is even more important. Even if we really fail, it's good that we'll come back alive. And what if we can't defeat him? The girl looks a little angry and angrily says, my biggest wish is that we kill that dragon tamer during our trip to the secret realm. Hearing her words, the 2 men laugh and say, okay, I'll wait for you to come back. And now it's time to add your wedding plans to the agenda. He bows to Ning and says, Uncle Ling, I'll follow your arrangements and you can rest assured. I'll ensure Zhuan safety during this trip to the secret realm. The girl agrees. On the other side, 3 days later, Lu Fan and his elder sister appeared. His elder sister looked at the surrounding area and said, is this the border of the Western world? This border is deeper than that border. Although I've lived here for quite some time, I've never been here before. Lu Fan replied, yes, this place is only 2,000 miles away from your family, and you've probably never been here. His elder sister assured him that he was right, Lu Fan. This area is protected by these families, who are third-class clans. It's a forbidden area for outsiders. No one can enter here without permission. Hearing her elder sister's words, Lu Fan asked, are third-tier families really that arrogant? What about these second- and first-tier families? Aren't they living in fear? Her elder sister laughed out loud. And who knows, Lu Fan? This is a world I can't reach, and I don't know. Lu Fan looked at her elder sister and thought for a moment. But then a scene appeared before Lu Fan and her elder sister that stunned them. Lu Fan looked up in surprise and asked, "Hey, is that all?" Her elder sister also said, Look carefully. This is the entrance to Jinsu Sujun's secret area." The entrance looked very scary and dark. Lu Fan and her elder sister were now standing at its threshold. But as they descended, there were some people standing there. Seeing them, the elder sister said, "Where did so many people come from? Looks like they've come to compete." On the other side, people saw our hero and said, "Hey, look who's here! Hey, it's Baoxiong of the Yi family, and he's the dragon tamer. I can't believe they actually dared to come here." Seeing Lu Fan and the elder sister, he said that if they came here, they would become cannon fodder, and no one would be able to save them. And I heard that the Ning family sent a teleportation stone to kill him in the secret area. The elder sister noticed their behavior and paid attention to him. Then looked at him and said, "They're ignoring me, and they're all planning to kill us." Lu Fan also looked at them carefully. The elder sister looked at the bodybuilder man and said, "Most of the people present today are from the transformation class. Look at that man." This bodybuilder man's name is Yuan Jing Ang, a Class A giant ape warrior grade C from the western region. And then the elder sister pointed to the eagle and asked, "This is Li Qingfeng of the Li family. He's also at level 110, and his battle form is a crane." Something happened that startled them both. Lu Fan and the elder sister looked ahead. The elder sister said that they could be called outsiders to the Link family, but not the strongest opponent they've ever faced. But by then, everyone's gaze turned skyward, something that startled everyone. Lu Fan also looked carefully and realized someone was coming. Up in the sky, a large bird-like beast, a creature surrounded by flames, appeared. The people standing nearby saw it and commented among themselves that it belonged to the Ring family, Ning Shuang, and the Lu family. The two of them disembarked and landed on the ground. As soon as they landed, everyone stared at them intently. What was the situation here? Lu Fan also saw them and stared. What were they trying to do? But just then, a terrifying force appeared from the sky, shocking everyone. These people were also shocked. This actually signaled the opening of the secret area. Everyone's eyes turned towards the secret area. Lu Fan and his elder sister were watching the rays coming from the sky. These rays signaled the opening of the gate to the secret realm. Seeing this, his elder sister asked Lu Fan, "Lu Fan, is the gate to the secret realm about to open?" Lu Fan was also watching intently, but was lost in thought. Meanwhile, the bodybuilder man was overjoyed to see the light and said, "I've really waited for this day. Is today the day the gate is about to open?" Lu Fan, thinking this, showed his crystal. He was thinking when he realized that the teleportation stone was indeed available for use. The Sanyu Secret Realm Teleportation Stone, a high-quality consumable, will teleport you to the entrance of the Sanyu Secret Realm. This crystal, which the bodybuilder man also possessed, activated and happily said, "Everyone, be careful." As soon as the crystal activated, it slowly began to disappear. As it disappeared, it said, "Once inside, they will all be my defeated enemies." Lu Fan and his elder sister were stunned by this scene. Lu Fan said, "It seems the time has come for me to enter the secret realm." Then suddenly, the elder sister saw something strange. Pointing upward, she said, "Look, something is shining in the sky. It seems there's someone." But just then, a bright light came and crashed to the ground with a loud thud. Seeing this, both the girl and the man were delighted, and said that the true master's appearance was truly unique. "It seems Master Morgan has arrived." Then someone appeared from the light, and upon seeing him, all the girls looked at him lovingly, and said to each other, "Wow, that young man is so handsome, so charming. He's amazing and incredibly talented. And I'm absolutely sure of that." And then he appears. Everyone is shocked to see him, because they couldn't figure out who he was. Actually, he's Moragong Singh, and then everyone starts talking about how even second-rate noble families exist here. The status window shows that Mulayam Singh's level is 119, and he's from the Western Frontier tribe. Meanwhile, the older sister also starts looking at him closely. Looking at him, she says, "Hey, Lu Fan, who's this guy? He looks really attractive." Lu Fan stares at him and says, "Looks like he's here to participate in the sexy secret reel event. And don't you even recognize your seniors?" The elder sister looked at him again and said, "Lu Fan, I really don't know him, but that shouldn't be the case. I know all the third-tier elite families that are capable of participating in the Jakshu secret realm. And could it be that someone is recruiting them all?" Hearing this, Lu Fan stared at him and thought to himself, this person, Lu Fan, was now standing in front of him. Looking at him, he thought to himself, I can clearly feel that this person is more powerful than Ning Shuang. Just then, a man appeared from behind the elder sister and said, "After all, this is a low-ranking Qingling family. It doesn't even recognize Ning. And yet, it's also said that a handsome young man is preparing for his 5th reincarnation. And he's the heir to the Morang family, a second-tier noble family." The elder sister was shocked to hear this. She said, "Is this really Morang? Are you really joking? Why would a second-tier noble family try to take over the secret domain of a third-tier noble family?" Hearing this, the man laughed and said, "Hey, the Ye family's information network is really weak, so you don't have any accurate information. Young Master Morang has clearly come here to obtain the soul-burning material for 5th-tier cultivation. Who can compete with him?" And then the black-haired man said again that he wasn't a shapeshifter. But under the special properties of the secret realm, my Li family can also try it. With that, he opened the door and entered the secret realm. Seeing this, Lu Fan was still seriously wondering if Morena Singh wasn't a shapeshifter. Morang Singh continued walking forward. Just then, the man behind him bowed his head and said, "I'm afraid I've made a fool of myself in front of young Master Moring. But third-tier families often have such cruel people. Fortunately, my family's intelligence network has broadened my horizons." Hearing this, Morena Singh didn't react, and then he activated his crystal and entered the secret realm. As soon as Ming Xing disappeared, the man stared at him thinking, it seemed my words had no effect on him. And then he turned to the girl and said, "Most of the people have already left. It's time for us to go to the secret area." But the girl doesn't respond to his words, and I call her by name. "Hey, Jing'er, what's wrong?" Actually, she was looking at our Lu Fan and elder sister. The elder sister puts her hand on his neck and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't know that. A second-tier noble family too. You have to be very careful in the secret area." But Lu smiles at the elder sister's reaction and says, "It's okay. I won't give up, and you should go back quickly, or you'll attract the attention of powerful families." Hearing this, the elder sister bowed her head and said, "I understand my limitations, and it's been very difficult for me to support the He family. But, believe me, it won't take long for me to reach So Wei's level and turn the He family into a high elite family." With that, Lu Fan and the elder sister approached. Lu Fan said, "Hey, it's settled." The elder sister said, "Okay, the deal is done." After that, she turned back and said, "At that time, both your family and I will accompany you. We'll wait for your good news." With that, she started to leave. Our hero also activated the secret zone and began to enter it. But here, this girl and this man were both watching this scene. This boy put his hand on the girl's shoulder and asked, "Hey, Sunagar, should we enter the sub-zone now?" But this girl replied angrily, "It's too noisy, let's go." With that, they left. Meanwhile, our hero, Lu Fan, was entering the secret zone. His crystal began to melt, and he thought to himself, the teleportation stone has stopped working. And it seems that after reaching the erotic secret zone, my only way out is to either win or die. There's no way to go. The secret zone is now open. Currently, 13 people are participating. Remember the following rules to complete the secret zone. As soon as Lu Fan sees this notice, he carefully reviews all the rules. The Jin Sukshu secret zone is about to officially begin. The ultimate reward of this Divine Ruin secret zone is the Divine Tempering Power. Divine Tempering Power. After receiving the final reward of using the pole key, the secret zone will officially end. There are 3 keys to the spirit tempering pool. Each key is divided into 13 pieces. Each participant will have 1 piece from the start. The remaining 12 pieces will be scattered throughout the secret area. When the first participant collects all 13 pieces to synthesize the God tempering key, the location of the final prize will be revealed. Lu Fan was still hurriedly moving towards the entrance. Just then, a status window appeared, indicating that Lu Fan had obtained a piece of the tempering pool key. Lu Fan immediately clenched it in his fist and thought to himself, "This is interesting." So, 12 more pieces must be collected for this secret area. Lu Fan thought to himself, "Can I collect the items scattered in the secret area, or obtain them from others?" Lu Fan was still hurriedly moving towards the entrance, and then, while he was thinking, he should keep in mind that once the key is synthesized, the address will be visible to everyone. Those who don't have the keys will definitely try to steal them. Without the power to protect them, the spirit-pacifying substance will simply work for someone else. Understanding all this, Lu Fan was now fully prepared to leave. This chapter ends here. There are many more interesting chapters ahead. So subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to be the first to see upcoming videos.